Hello and welcome to episode 92 of the Critical Twits, where we cast our eye back on the year in gaming that was 2017.
Can't quite enamour and woo for that.
Woo, no woo. Welcome to episode 92 of the Critical Twits gaming podcast. I'm Brian Ennis.
And I'm Aaron Vinsky.
And today we're going to start our review of 2017. We're going to start with all the tabletop games that we have played.
Yes.
Now, we did record this already.
Yeah.
And then we realised we talked far too long about tabletop stuff because we are going to talk about video game stuff at the same time. We've split that into a different episode, so I'm now talking to you from the future and I'm about to plunge you into the murky rivers of the already recorded past.
Ooh.
Enjoy. Critical Twits, how are you doing? It's been a while, people. It's been a while.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's been a while.
That's probably why.
Is that a song, or if I made that up?
You could have made it up. It could be a real song for all I know. We've already touched on how terrible my musical knowledge is.
Yeah. Aaron's never heard many famous songs.
Yes.
I'm just checking now. It's only... Yeah, it's a Stained song. It's been a while.
I probably heard that one then.
Yeah.
But I've blanked it out of my memory because it's Stained.
Yes.
Yeah.
And... Oh... Did it not leave an impression? Hey! Bit of a mark.
Not spelled like that, it didn't.
No. Damn you, the turn of the millennium and everyone forgetting how words work. Aaron's never heard Words by Boyzone.
Is it definitely Boyzone?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
This conversation was drunkenly had the other day.
Yeah. No, genuinely never heard it.
It's only a song you've never heard to take your friends away.
I'm sure that'd be more amazing if I'd heard the actual song and recognised it.
Yeah, no, I'm fucking hilarious. People out there rolling in the aisles, man. They're rolling in the aisles. Because they're listening to this while shopping.
Yes, or in the cinema.
Or in the cinema. Or church.
Yes.
Yes. If you've ever listened to us in a church, let us know.
Yeah, you'll get an instant high five.
We'll send you things. We need proof. Anyway,
yes.
So we're going to talk about all the different types of gaming, what we do. What kinds of gaming do we do, Aaron?
We do tabletop role-playing games.
Yes, we do.
We do tabletop miniatures games.
We do.
We do tabletop board games.
We do lots of stuff on a tabletop.
And we do lack of tabletop video games. Although
yes.
we do play them on a tabletop occasionally.
Yes. Yeah, we are at a table with my laptop, what I play games on now.
Yeah.
And this is where I play my games.
We like sitting down and we like tables.
Yes. So welcome to the Critical Twits Tablecast, where we talk about flat surfaces, planes of wood and plastic protrusions.
Yeah. That works.
Kind of ran out of steam there. So we're going to start with the tabletop stuff and end with the video games.
Yes.
As is tradition. It's the third time we've done this. Well, it's the first time we've done it for 2017. We did it for 2016 and 2015.
Yeah.
So you can go and listen to those if you want to hear some really outdated references.
Yay, nostalgia.
I was tempted to go back and listen to what we were excited about for this year.
Oh, yeah, we could have done, yeah.
And then gone, was it good? Was it not good?
Did we just completely miss it?
Yeah. But that required too much effort.
Yeah.
Because December is a cold and unglamorous month where we haven't really done anything.
No.
But we're back.
Yes.
We are. Guess who's back? Twits are back. Have you heard that song?
one? Yeah,
yes. Then take it away, man. Sing for me.
No.
Oh, fuck. Okay. So, yeah. Now... Board games and tabletop role-playing games can kind of lump together. It's been a bit of a weird year for us.
Yeah, it has.
We started really strong when we first started the channel. We were playing all sorts of stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And then everything has kind of collapsed like the veneer of decency over our actually barbaric civilization. That would have been funny if I could have said it. Everything has collapsed. No, I can't do it. But yeah, everything's collapsed like the thin veneer of... I can't speak. Fuck. You're going to keep that in, aren't you?
Everything's collapsed like your elocution.
Yes, like my words, what I do. Yeah, everything's collapsed. All our gaming groups have kind of become spotty and intermittent.
Yeah.
Or at least like people haven't been attending, and so roleplay games are hard.
Yes.
Because you want consistent characters and such like.
Yep.
We got to the point we talked about in a previous podcast where we had a second campaign going on that ran when the first one wasn't running.
Yeah.
Which was the Sprawl.
Yeah.
Which is a great game. I
Yes.
really enjoy the Sprawl.
Yeah, I've enjoyed every time I've played that as well.
But it's not our main sort of campaign. We've kind of
No.
desperately been searching around for a campaign this year, and I think partly it's due to, and it's not like anyone's fault. You don't blame anyone, but
No.
you get older, things get more difficult.
Yeah, I was going to say for this year, I mean, for me alone, because I've definitely been spotty and disappearing on things.
I didn't want to say, mate, but there's some Clearasil in the other room.
Yeah.
Sort yourself out.
It's all that, the stress that's coming out.
I think when it squeeze them,
You should. Make a good video.
you don't like it when I touch you.
It's not technically touching me, it's touching my infection.
The infection's inside your skin. I'd have to finger the end of the boil.
Yeah, but it's dead and I don't feel it anymore, so it's
Okay.
fine. Yeah, on that horrible tangent.
Yeah.
The start of this year was me doing my dissertation.
Yeah.
So I spent a lot of my time focusing on that rather than all the other things I had going on.
Yes.
And then I got a job.
You got a job, yeah?
That requires me to travel 100 miles a day
Yes.
and is so difficult to fit and time to fit in. And
Yeah.
that's just me. Everybody else has had something similar along those
Yeah.
kind of lines.
Well, I had a relationship that collapsed, like the thin veneer of civilization that holds our society together.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, I got it. It's the fifth time I tried to use that. But I think I said society, not society.
It's fine.
It's fine, no one will notice.
I'll just lessen the volume on that little
hang
section.
on, you could cut this in. Society. Give you another one. Society. That's how I really sound. Yeah, so that takes time and effort and sorting your life out. And then I changed jobs.
Yeah.
And that takes time and effort and sorting your life out. I had no money, so I marked for an exam board, which takes time and effort. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been a tricky year.
Yes.
Not just for us personally, but for the world as a whole. We have mad people in power.
Yeah.
Across Western civilization, the rise of racism, resurgence in harassment of women, and minorities, scapegoating, the abuse people in power, more impending disaster in the Middle East. Africa's fucked by all accounts in certain places. The rise of the internet. Just the rise of the internet, really. That's a shit place.
It's just become more of a cesspit.
So,
Yeah.
what games did we play, mate? Let's lighten this up.
To run away from that stuff, to be honest.
Yeah, so gaming's quite a good escape from the world. So have we flung ourselves full body into other games to make up for the lack of like the role play? Have we been diving into brand new games like we have done? Because we used to be like really on it. Like, this is new, let's play it, let's lick it, let's rub it on our faces.
I feel a little bit like that collective horribleness has made me want to find stuff that is comforting. So I've gone back to things I like instead more.
So we were looking through of games that were actually published this year.
Yeah.
Between me and you, we've got 3 board games that were published this year, which are Dark Souls, the board game.
Yep.
This War of Mine.
Yep.
And Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective Jack the Ripper and West End Adventures. It's a succinct title.
It is, yes.
So we can talk about those. Dark Souls was really disappointing. We haven't played the other 2.
Yeah, there we go.
We're done, really, aren't we?
Yeah. I don't understand why everybody was raving about Dark Souls. It wasn't terrible, but it really lacked something.
Just didn't pop, did it?
No.
It was okay.
Yeah.
The rule book was crazy. And I could never find what I was looking for. I got so angry when we tried playing it that I threw the rule book across the table. 3 times?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And legitimately, it wasn't.
Sometimes I do stuff for attention because I'm an only child and I wasn't hugged enough.
Yeah.
That wasn't one of those times.
Yeah, no, it wasn't one of those.
Thank you. You've grown used to my weirdness.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was one of us would pick it up and look through and go, it genuinely fucking isn't in here, I don't get it. And then find it 10 minutes later.
In a weird place. Yeah, which made it frustrating.
Yeah.
But once you've got the rules down, you carry on, you play it more.
Yeah.
But we didn't.
No, because it didn't seem to go anywhere.
No.
Sort of, if you played a game and went, okay, I understand how this works, I don't really feel the need to play again.
No.
You know, I mean, you could say that about things like Pandemic, which I absolutely love.
Yeah, but it had one more go.
Yeah.
Dark Souls felt very grindy as a board game.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the thing and reset the monsters and get some more loot and some more XP and level set up before we fight the boss.
Yeah, which is thematically accurate.
Yeah, but it's the worst bit of games, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, grinding is something I've never bothered playing MMOs because of all the incessant grinding. What occurs. Because, you only live once and you don't want to be lying on your deathbed going, I killed 1.4 million badgers in Warcraft.
Yeah.
I am the best at life. Goodbye, my sweet no one who's here.
Yeah.
And die.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah.
I can understand sometimes that repetitive nature can get you can get in a kind of zen-like state, but when you're playing a board game with other people, that zen-like state takes you out of it.
Yeah,
you're not engaging with people as much. You're just going, okay, let's just do this thing and then do this thing. Let's do this mechanic over and over again. That's fine on your own, or if you're chatting online and you can just press some buttons and things happen, flash on the screen. Yeah, that's engaging.
Like, mindless entertainment is still entertainment and can be useful.
Yeah,
if you need to relax, switch off, etc., etc.
Yeah. But it doesn't work as a board game.
There's much better board games that you can do for that. Like, we will play Fun Employed, Cards Against Humanity, Joking Hazard.
Yeah.
Those kind of games that don't require any kind of skill but still make you laugh.
Yeah.
But you're not like strategizing or anything.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just an odd game.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the people who got hyped for it bought it on Kickstarter, and there's that thing of, I have paid lots of money for this and I am special because I got it first, therefore it must be good.
Yeah, Shut Up and Sit Down brought us up with Scythe. They found us like, I can't understand why people really enjoy this, but everybody who's bought on Kickstarter absolutely adores it. It's because you invested in it.
I can't remember who it was. I watched a really interesting YouTube video that talked about the same phenomenon when it comes to people arguing about which console is better. Because at the end of the day, they're boxes that you plug in the TV and games happen.
Yeah.
One might have some more megabits and some bigger frame rates, but really it's just the games are what you're doing it for.
Yeah.
And the games are actually what makes a console good, and they're pretty much standard. So the only real difference I feel between the consoles is the exclusives.
Yes.
And then you could argue about those and those games being better.
Yeah.
But you can't really,
it's not the console itself as such.
Yeah, it's just a gaming box. But because people spend so much money on it.
Yeah.
And then they have to kind of justify that decision, and they have to kind of double down and be like, well, I made the right choice. Because if you go, actually, the other console's better than the one I bought, you've made a mistake and you feel bad.
Yeah.
And therefore it's easier to defend that. And then your defensiveness triggers someone else's defensiveness on the other side. And then you kind of build this like tower of cards of sort of self-justification and misplaced anger. And then if you think how much a gaming PC costs, like a top-of-the-line gaming PC, it explains the PC arsehole race, PC Master Race phenomenon, where people are like, well, I play games on PC, therefore my penis is 47 inches long and spews strawberry yop. It's the most delicious milky thing I could think of.
I'd be well happy if it spewed that.
Yeah, my sex life may have been very different. A lot wetter. It's good. Is it reinforced with calcium, strawberry up?
Yeah, I'm sure it is. There's probably some probiotics in it as well, so it's good for your tummy.
Yeah, so, makes a very different conversation. Anyway... So I feel like maybe that's where some of that came from. I mean, we're not saying it's a bad game. I enjoyed it once I stopped throwing the rule book around, but I never got the urge to play it again, and I spent a lot of money on that giant box.
Yes, yeah.
This War of Mine you picked up.
I have, yeah.
I played the video game and it made me want to die.
Yep, same. which is what made me want to pick the board game up for some bizarre reason, but it's also probably equally the reason why I haven't played it.
Yes. Well, when we're having a sad day, bring it round.
Yeah, we'll have a look and a go at that. But it does look like it's really getting engaged with that same disheartened, horrible feeling. It's very storytelling based for a board game, which I was quite surprised about.
And I wanted Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective for ages and finally got it quite a while ago, actually, several months ago, and then left it at a friend's house and haven't got it back yet.
Yeah.
So eventually I'll play it.
Yeah.
And I am looking forward to it. But it's a very sort of sit down, think, cerebral, glass of brandy, maybe a cigar kind of game.
Ooh. Yeah.
And
we don't have time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that, he said in a terrible way. So I thought what we'd do is we will browse the list of great games. So we're on Board Game Geek, which we visited before. We'll just have a look at some of the games that came out, and we're doing them. They're starting by how highly voted they are, so how highly rated they are by people who use Board Game Geek.
Yeah.
Now, we've talked about Board Game Geek before. They tend to be a little bit more hardcore than maybe we are.
Yeah, they like the really intense, high depth games.
But
which, you know,
as you go down, they're not against anything else. They just tend not to quite go to the top. So we'll just scroll down a little bit further and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
So the highest ranked board game of the year, and also the highest ranked board game on Board Game Geek now, is Gloomhaven. Now, I kickstarted the second printing. It's not the second edition, it's the second printing of Gloomhaven earlier in the year. It was meant to be delivered at the end of October, just in time for my birthday. My birthday is Halloween, so you've missed it, you bastards. Send me presents. Send me lots of presents. Send me digital presents to criticaltwits@gmail.com or brian@criticaltwits.com or just put them in the post with my name on it and just hope they get to me.
Yeah, that could
That'd
work.
be fine. Got distracted now.
So you're back to the second printing.
That's it. And we were going to do an unboxing because it is the world's biggest box. It weighs over 1.5 stones.
Yeah.
I've actually lost more weight than that this year.
Nice.
Which is partly why I haven't played as many games. But it was really disconcerting to pick it up and go, I used to weigh this much more because I can barely lift this. How do I get out of bed in the morning? It's just a roll. Just a roll everywhere.
Yeah. That's why my wrist doesn't work.
It's like a rudder. Just readjusting you while the rest of you presses down on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that. What happened was the delivery company attempted to deliver it and then sent it back to Germany, and I didn't get it until December.
Yeah.
Everyone else had already done their unboxing by then, so it was kind of pointless.
Yeah.
And it looks incredibly hardcore.
Yeah.
There's lots of stuff in it.
Yeah.
It looks really, really good, but. Yeah,
it needs it needs at least a reasonable group of us to sit down and play it on a regular basis.
And it works in a sort of campaign system. You don't have to have the same players each and every time, but it seems like it's going to work better if you do that.
Yeah.
There's a really good shut up and sit down review on it, so they beat us to it, and it's really good, and I highly recommend it. And so even if we play it, we might talk about it on the podcast, but we're not going to do much more.
Yeah.
So that's like the best game ever. So the second best game and the 41st best game ever on Board Game Geek. The second best game for 2017. Fuck me, I can't even do words. Let's do that again, Brian. So the second best game of 2017 and the 41st best game ever. That's quite a jump. 40 games. Is The Seventh Continent.
Okay. I could tell you nothing about that. Let's hope the webpage loads.
We then, number 90, Clans of Caledonia. I've played this.
Oh, have you?
Yes. So very occasionally I will go and visit a board game club in the lovely town of Peterborough, the Posh Gamers.
Yes.
They're very lovely people and they meet in a pub. So Clans of Caledonia is a mid to heavy economic game set in 19th century Scotland.
Yeah.
It's a slightly fancier version of that game with squares.
Carcassonne.
It's a slightly fancier version of Carcassonne, Aaron.
Ah, okay.
And it has you doing all sorts of...
Things with sheep looking at the pictures?
Yeah.
That's a lot of sheep.
Yeah.
So there is a
I think
picture
this is the one I played.
of hexagons and sheep in front of me.
This looks slightly different to what I played. Maybe I played a different game.
Wanted to be.
This isn't what I played.
So, so there's another heavy economic board game based in 19th century Scotland.
There's another Scottish-looking game, yeah.
It's not like Isle of Man or something like that, is it?
Isle of something,
Isle
yeah.
of Skye.
Yeah. Cool, I played Isle of Skye, I didn't play that one. Cool. This is hard, man.
What are the chances of there being two things set in a small province of Scotland? Skye's part of Scotland, isn't it?
I think it's Americans romanticising where they came from.
Oh, okay.
That would be my guess. So yeah, haven't played Cans of Caledonia.
No.
Next up
Yeah.
is the delightful Pandemic Legacy Season 2. Which is at 91 overall, which is only a mere 89 places lower than Pandemic Legacy Season 1.
Ooh.
Now, we've long promised a review of Pandemic Legacy, Aaron.
Yeah,
I think we've actually promised it 4 separate occasions.
Yeah.
So, quickly, what's your review of Pandemic Legacy?
It's good.
Takes too fucking long to play it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really hard to get enough people together for long enough.
Yeah, yeah. It is possible to play it 2-player, though.
Yes.
So, as a group, we have a copy that back in the days when Colin was part of us.
2 years ago when it first came out, yeah.
We all started a campaign.
Yeah.
We all role played it as we were playing.
We role played it as our characters, and we did some little voice bits, and it was going to be amazing. We
Yeah.
can do a whole thing.
Yeah, and then we just stopped playing it because it took too long because we need time for other things.
Yeah.
But I have got a copy myself,
And you
I've been
started playing
with my
it.
wife.
Yeah.
And we've got up to September, I think. So I've seen some of the weird shit that happens with it.
Yeah. So we got up to about April or May.
It was April, I think.
Yeah. I've now started playing again. I've got to February with a separate group of people that Aaron doesn't know about, that I play games with when he's not around.
Traitor.
From the Posh Board Game Place.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're playing on Thursday, but it's been a month between games.
Yeah.
So we played two or three games of it last time.
Yeah.
And now it's been a month and we'll do it. I think we're trying to do it in real time or something. It's funny.
Yeah.
I thought of that. Should have suggested it.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things, if you can play it loads, we played, I think, a bit too much. We were playing it every week.
Yeah.
And it's like, do we want to play Pandemic again? Pandemic's good and it's got shiny things in, but it's still Pandemic.
Yeah. And we're sort of being done at the expense of other things.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I've played so far, I've really enjoyed, and the stuff they've added has definitely become hugely different to what Pandemic itself is.
Yeah.
While still remaining the same mechanics.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in Season 2, definitely, but it's going to be a while before I actually get to it.
Yeah. So then the fifth best game of 2017, 94 on the list of games ever, is Anachrony, which is
Sci-fi bullshit?
well,
I like
sci-fi, mate. I don't know. You could play it on your own.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel like we're getting a little bit out of touch. What's happened this year, though, is that nothing's really grabbed me as being like, you must play this game, it's amazing.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff that people were getting really excited about was like the tail end of 2016. Things like Scythe and Terraforming Mars.
Yeah.
That then disappeared. And so felt like when I was trying to think what we played, I was like, or what was big, in my mind, they were more recent games than they actually are.
Because they only just started getting reprints.
Yeah, like I've only just got a copy of Bloodborne, the card game.
Yeah.
It's been out for over a year, but I've only just got a copy because it coming across from America, because I think it's Cool Mini or not, maybe, I think, off the top of my head. But it's someone that doesn't really publish in Europe particularly.
Yeah.
And so you're getting import copies and they cost a load of money. And I just found a copy at Dragon Meat.
Yeah.
Go back and listen to our interviews from Dragon Meat. Some of them are really funny. Some of them are really weird.
Yes.
Do you like weird and funny? Critical Twits time. Yeah. So Board Game Geek's being a dick now, so that's as far as we'll explore.
Yeah.
But there's just been nothing that's made me go, oh, I really want to play this.
No. And it seems like a lot of the things that have come out have been really chunky stuff.
Yeah. The only thing that came out recently that I was like, I really want to play that, I want to get that, is Fallout the board game.
Yeah.
But again, haven't been able to get a copy, and it only really just came out last month.
Yeah.
That's about it, really.
I mean, I've played one game that came out this year. It was quite light that I really enjoyed, which is Flip City or Design Town.
Which
Design
actually,
Town's the one it's called in Europe.
So it's weird because that's an older game that then was bought by someone else and published under a different name, and then was republished this year under its original name but with slightly different art or something. It's a bit complicated.
It is, yeah.
I really like that. It was fun.
Yeah, I really liked it. It was nice. It was compact. You
Build a
could play
little
in a small
town
space.
and then upgrade your cards by flipping them over.
Yeah.
Hence the Flip City.
Yeah.
That's a much better name for it than Design Town. Design Town is a shitty name.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, it was a nice little quick test your luck type game.
Yeah. Yeah.
With a bit of fucking around with other people, which is always nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've enjoyed every game with that, and that's about as do as I've got. But again, that's quite a light game.
Yes, yeah. I found we've been playing a lot of games that we've played before. We've kind of been going, let's play this again. So recently we've played Waterdeep, Lords of Waterdeep again.
Oh, I really enjoyed that. Yep.
We've played... Well, we played a bit of Fury of Dracula, which came out tail end of last year, and then immediately disappeared because of the Games Workshop dropping its licenses with Fantasy Flight Games and starting to publish their own stuff.
Yeah.
We have ragged on Necromunda this year.
We have.
Which maybe goes in the miniatures bit, but... yeah, we played. I will now issue a hasty retraction. I think it was last year. My most disappointing game of the year was Spyfall. Because we tried to play it with 3 of us and it was crap. We then played Spyfall with like 6 or 7 of us, and it's amazing. It's an amazing game. It's a nice social deduction, bluffing, lying game with lots of potential for hilarity.
The most cantankerous answers ever.
Yeah, and it only lasts 10 minutes a round, so it's a nice, short, sharp game.
Yeah.
And everyone we've played it with in a larger group has really enjoyed themselves. And it's one of those things where, we could play that.
Yeah.
Because people want to play it.
Yeah.
So, that's been good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on then, I will tell you a game I have played a lot of this year.
Yeah.
Netrunner.
Ah.
And we've talked a lot about Netrunner.
We have, because at the start of this year I played lots too.
Yes. So we're not going to go on and on about Netrunner.
No, because you could listen back to our old podcast for that.
Yeah, but we will talk about a little bit of why, if you listen to the last 3 Netrunner podcasts, Aaron is missing.
Yeah.
Because why, Aaron? Why don't you love us anymore? Why don't you want to run some nets with us in the grim, dark future of tomorrow plus a bit?
Because I'm missing loads of stuff.
Yeah. So Netrunner... we got into last year.
Yes.
In a big way.
Yeah.
And we were like, this is so good, we want to talk about it every month.
Yeah.
And then it got really complicated around about August, September time, just after Euros.
Yeah.
In the run-up to Worlds, the game kept shifting and sliding about.
Yeah.
They had most wanted lists, and the format of those changed.
Yeah.
They had rotation where cards were leaving. Being a living card game, you can't have every card ever still working forever because it just makes the game impossible to balance.
Yep.
And alongside that, unexpectedly for us, probably not for people who are more hardcore than us, but they had a Core 2.0 that's only just been released. It came out last month. Last month.
Yeah. Which I have been waiting for.
Yes.
Because the original core box, about half the cards now don't work anymore.
Yes, there's a lot of cards that don't work in the old core box, and there's a lot of... I was annoyed because I wasn't buying the first 2 data cycles knowing that they were going to cycle out.
Yep.
But I did buy my 3 core sets to have 3 copies of all the singles in that set.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh no, we're keeping some of the stuff from those old data packs.
Yeah.
And it was... I'd bought a couple because there were some cards that I needed. So it was easier for me just to buy all the data packs.
Yeah.
And have all the cards straight away. But
Yes.
you were behind me in the kind of the collecting everything up kind of state.
Yeah,
which
I was
is,
still financially
it's-
solvent at the time.
yeah, it's fair enough being a student.
And to a certain extent, I couldn't be bothered. Not because I had any problem with the game, but because the concept of buying loads of cards to then sort through them to find the ones that we're not allowed to use anymore, to make sure I've got the ones that are usable, or make sure I've got enough copies of those. I felt such a ball ache that I was just like, I'm just going to wait for the course 2.0 to come out.
Yeah.
Go with that.
Yeah, and just do it properly.
And I just haven't got round to it yet, which is, it's been neglectful of me, but I've been distracted briefly over the last month.
We've talked about, it's been difficult for us to get together.
But now it's out.
Yeah.
I'll be playing it again because I can.
Yeah, I remade my decks like 3 times in the space of 2 weeks.
Yes.
And then didn't play Netrunner properly for about 2 months because it annoyed me.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just like, look, here is everything that's changing, deal with it. Because that might have been too much. We talked a lot about this in the previous podcast, but I felt massively overwhelmed and slightly grumpy about it all.
Yeah, yeah.
I also got called a prick on Facebook on a Netrunner group because I wasn't excited about it because it was difficult for me.
Well, yeah.
So, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Twat.
Well, fanboy slavish devotion has never been our thing.
No. Yeah. So that's what happened with that. But there was a board game version of Netrunner that came out that you and Joe played, and that was this year. Terminal Directive.
Terminal Directive. Well, yeah, so Terminal Directive was a weird one. It was a very weird one because not only was it a Q1 2017 release that came out in April, which is not Q1.
No.
It's a legacy game version of Netrunner that is really oddly balanced and doesn't really work. It's a really good idea. It's a really interesting idea to bring in legacy game mechanics to Netrunner. It's meant to be the next step for beginning players. It's not the next step for beginning players. It's really complicated because you've got loads of extra stuff to remember because you get a little board and you stick stickers on it and then you have to mark shit off when you do it.
Yeah.
And it just, no. So Joe and I played through it once. We both got a copy because you need the cards to have a full collection anyway. But then we never played it the other way round. No. The idea was I would run and he would corp and then we'd swap over. So I've not read any of the corp cards and story bits from Terminal Direct because I've been waiting to do that, but I don't really want to.
No. And as big a fan of Netrunner as Joe is, he hasn't really seemed sort of, I want to play this.
No.
Which he normally does.
No, we burnt through it really, really. We played it. We were really all over it, and then we were like,
oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Terminal Directive was an interesting thing.
It was a nice idea, but it just didn't. It was Dark Souls again. It was intriguing, but not quite right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just kind of summing up this year so far, but
that's Netrunner.
Yeah.
It's a card game, what we play. I've been playing Magic the Gathering, Aaron.
Oh.
I know.
Oh.
Why don't you like Magic the Gathering, Aaron?
Because it was, when I played it was full of dickheads.
Right, okay.
Okay, no.
So I've not played with any dickheads.
No. A lot. Just to be fair, most of the people I played with were quite nice, but I made the mistake of going to a tournament with it once, and they were assholes. Yeah. And the game was completely unbalanced for a tournament setting, making it completely unfun. Yeah. So unless you had shitloads of money, you were not getting anywhere with it.
Yeah. Now I've been enjoying playing Magic the Gathering. This is happening, and it's quite easy to play.
Yes.
I feel it really feels its age. Yeah. In the sense that there's only kind of like 3 things you do. You play a land, you summon a creature, you enchant something, and then you attack. 4 things. Yeah. So it's quite nice and simple. It's really easy to pick it back up. I mean, I played Magic when I was 15. I played it again when I was about 22, 23, briefly. Yeah. And then now I'm 33. I was able to just pick it back up.
Yeah, which says a lot to it, to be fair.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be buying a shitload of cards or going online and browsing card databases and spending £50 a time on things and that kind of thing. Magic's a weird game because it's so popular. Yeah. There are whole, local gaming stores, brick and mortar places that only exist because of their turnover of Magic cards. Yeah. And because of that buying and selling and trading of cards, like the market that goes with it, because you get your randomised boosters and whatnot. It's really odd. Yeah. It's like such a cornerstone of the hobby, and it's something we've not touched and we've never talked upon.
No, because it's something that grates with us I think because again, as kids growing up being financially not that well off,
Yeah.
stuff like that was off-putting. You couldn't play as well as other people simply because you couldn't afford the stuff that they could.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, in my 20s, I remember picking up a dual pack for a friend.
Yeah.
It was like two just pre-made decks.
Yeah.
That were supposed to be sort of balanced against each other. And I remember playing quite a few games of those and really enjoying it.
Yeah.
Because again, it was nice, quick, simple fun.
Yeah.
But I never felt the urge to go buy any more booster packs ever again. And I did have a little period where I tried, and I could only afford like a pack a month kind of thing.
Yeah.
If I scraped stuff together. And I enjoyed, the collector in me enjoyed that for a little while.
Yeah.
But it was just impossible to keep up with because it just released so much stuff.
Yeah. I mean, the person I've been playing with mostly, they have a Planeswalker deck. Mm-hmm. And they got me a Planeswalker deck.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting, actually, because I didn't expect, but in that deck you get a couple of boosters as well from the relevant set.
Oh, okay.
To get you into that kind of opening and having something different.
That's crack dealer level.
Yeah, it's like, have a free loot box kind of thing. But it does mean that you've immediately got some options to customise your deck and change stuff about and play around with it.
Yeah.
And also a load of cards from different colours that you're never going to include.
Yeah.
But you might go, that looks really cool, let me get the black deck.
Yeah.
Or big black deck. Just a hefty black deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, the biggest, blackest deck. Yeah. So we might talk about that at some point.
Yeah, I'll be interested to play it again, see what it feels like again. And
yeah, there's definitely a nostalgia there. And I'm getting to the age now where nostalgia's a thing.
Yeah. And again, it's that comfort food. There were pleasant times playing it, so I'm going to look back and playing it with that mentality at the moment.
Yeah. So that's board games and card games.
Yeah.
What about tabletop RPG games, Aaron? We've already said, because we're all over the place, that we found a long-running campaign very difficult to undertake. We have attempted campaigns for GenLab.
Yes.
Mutant GenLab Alpha, Mutant Year Zero GenLab Alpha.
Yeah.
GenLab Alpha, Mutant Year Zero. Something like that.
Yeah. Words
Lots of words.
in a string.
It's only words.
No, nothing.
Still nothing. Still nothing.
You played it for me and it's still nothing.
Dear me. We have played some Pathfinder. We tried Crimson Throne, or Curse of the Crimson Throne.
Yeah.
The second adventure path for Pathfinder that they released at the end of last year, but we didn't get till this year in a big hardback book because we played Rise of the Rune Lords and had a mixed time, a really good time, and then a bad time at the end when the game became too complicated because Pathfinder, Dungeons and Dragons, higher level stuff is bollocks in my opinion because you'd need a calculator and 4 hours for a combat.
Yeah.
So starting Crimson Throne at a low level, and it wasn't really what we were after anymore as a roleplay group. We wanted the story and the characters, not the grind and the numbers.
No, I think we get our numbers from other things these days.
Yeah.
So it was the combats, I think, mostly that slowed us down.
Yeah.
That we got into and we're like, okay, that was a thing.
We've got to the point now where if it's not you'll go in a combat within about 5 minutes, people just start wander off.
Yeah.
Either mentally or actually physically. Oh, it's going to have a cigarette break. And then...
Yeah, and actually have time to go do that and come back before somebody's finished a turn.
Yeah.
Even in low level, sometimes.
Whereas we've been playing a lot of Mutant Year Zero, a lot of the Sprawl.
Yeah.
Where the combat is much quicker, much deadlier as well. I never feel super scared in Pathfinder.
No. Considering how often we've had characters at less than 0 health.
But then you take ages to bleed out.
Yeah. And you just get stabilised by, me.
The cleric comes over and pokes you for 1 point of healing or just a stabilise spell.
Yeah.
And you're kind of good to go.
Yeah.
So it's been weird. It's like going back to something, that nostalgia. I've played so much Pathfinder and D&D 3.5 for the last 15 years and then going, well, it's not as good as I remember.
No. And again, that could come down simply to us not having time to play on a regular basis.
Yeah, so there's gaps between sessions and such like as well.
Because we're old. And so not being able to get our teeth into it as much. So we're looking for bittier things that we can get into.
Yeah.
Whereas, Mutant, we can go do a little thing, have a quick combat and still do loads of story.
Yeah.
And then come back to it. Although with GenLab Alpha, we were finding there was moments of slog.
Yes.
Because of the way some of the mechanics worked for
Yeah.
you running away and things like that. And
Yeah, GenLab Alpha was the first campaign, but the animal mutants are not as fun to play as the mutant mutants from Mutant Year Zero.
Yeah.
So those who don't know, it's a spin-off game set in the same world, but instead of playing sort of genetically engineered or radioactively mutated mutant people, you play human-animal hybrid people.
yes.
And it has slightly different mechanics to give it a flavour.
Yeah.
But those mechanics involve your character descending into animalhood and running off and then having to be chased and
Yeah.
and things like that. And the powers that they have aren't as powerful, so the world feels even more brutal.
Yes. Yeah.
And Mutant Year Zero is brutal enough.
Yeah.
There's genuinely a chance you could die in every combat in Mutant Year Zero, no matter how powerful you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
We went through so many characters in GenLab.
Yeah.
So yes, we reviewed it last year. Do you still stand by the review? Is it still a good game? Is it still a fun game?
I think it's still good and fun. I think possibly the way we role play might not be quite the way it intends, which I think we mentioned in the review.
Yeah, we tend to like role play every minute.
Yeah, which means when a character runs off or stops talking for a day, that's a long time for a player to be out of action.
Yeah, the stopping talking thing when you forget how to talk because your animal side is taking over.
Whereas most people will just go, okay, well, we're going to stop and rest for a day.
Well, it was really fun for a few weeks, and then it was like, but now I don't get to do anything.
Yeah.
And I mean, if it happens, like, yeah, we'll stop and rest for a day. But if you're in the middle of a mission into robot control territory, because the robots are the bad guys, and you're halfway through, and you
can't stop because they'll catch you.
Yeah, it becomes very, very tricky.
Yeah.
But loses its fun of role playing that.
Yeah. And again, it might just be because it was so brutal that it got to a point where it was getting a bit depressing.
Well, I don't think we had any of the original characters left.
No.
And both Mutant Year Zero and GenLab Alpha have a kind of mechanic where you're not just role playing the characters that you have, you're playing the organisation. So you're playing the Resistance in GenLab Alpha.
Yeah.
And you get to choose their things, or you choose your arc in Mutant Year Zero.
And with GenLab Alpha, you're also playing technically part of a particular animal tribe.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, where the big issue came in with it, is that, say my character is part of Rabbit Tribe, well, we were never near Rabbit Tribe.
No, because the base of the Resistance is the other side of the world, and it's really dangerous to go beyond your territory.
Yeah. So rather than having a rabbit character who I could just sort of supersede in, would take them a couple of weeks to get across the map to come to us.
Yeah.
And the slog things, again, probably because of the way our role-playing style works, it just didn't click with us.
Yeah.
But it's still good. I still hold it as a good game. But I just don't think it's our kind of game necessarily anymore.
I think Mutant Year Zero we were able to do a bit more with because of the way we play.
Yeah.
We've also speculatively got our hands on various things. Starfinder. We played a session for the channel but it kind of didn't work because Starfinder, the space version of Pathfinder, came out, and like Pathfinder, you're meant to have a core book and a bestiary. They call it something else. It's like a space bestiary.
Encyclopedia.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
I can't be bothered to type it because it came out like a month after the main book, and it's like, well, you need the things to fight. You need the challenge.
Yeah.
There's not. The Starfinder book doesn't contain a sample adventure. It doesn't contain a bunch of NPCs for you to use, so you don't have to use like wibbly alien races or anything.
Yeah.
You could just have some NPCs. So it looked promising, but there wasn't a lot you could do with it. They're kind of catching up now.
Yeah.
But it felt a little odd because it's just Pathfinder in space. Like, the gods have the same names, and it's a bit weird.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like its own thing. It feels
just like a
weird parallel universe tribute thing.
Yeah.
So it might be good, might not. I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose if you're massively, I mean, I'm huge into sci-fi, but I suppose if you're really into that kind of fantasy sci-fi kind of thing, it'd be the thing for you, I suppose.
Yeah, it had a system for like spaceship combat and building up a ship together as a group that looked quite interesting.
Yeah.
Though, so we might come back to that. We unboxed Paranoia and have not got round to playing it yet.
No.
Because that's definitely a one-off thing, and I keep forgetting to take it with me when I know that people won't be there.
Yeah.
Because we've been playing the Sprawl instead, and that's fine. The
Yeah.
Sprawl is good.
Yeah.
But again, we kind of over-role play it, and we don't complete a mission in a single evening, and then you've got random people, and it becomes tricky.
Yeah.
I did buy Tales from the Loop, which is essentially Stranger Things, the roleplay game. We unboxed that on the channel as well.
Yeah.
Looks really good.
Yeah.
It's only really me and Aaron that want to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's been a tricky one. I have maybe found some other people to play with us, but then it's a case of scheduling and finding time.
Yeah, on top of all the other things. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's been tricky as well, but that looks fun.
Yeah, it does.
So yeah, that's our sad story of tabletop RPGs. Malifaux.
Yeah, Malifaux we've probably picked up a bit more
We
on.
held our own tournament.
Yeah.
And in 2 weeks' time, we'll be going to a tournament as a group. So we are going to the Troubleshooters tournament, Troubleshooters 3, it's the third one, on January the 13th in Northampton. No, Northamptonshire, it's in Daventry.
Which I know not of.
No, it's like Coventry, but everyone is called Dave.
Yes, instead of Cove.
Yes, like they are there. So this is a newbie-friendly tournament because we've played lots of Malifaux. We've done all sorts of Malifaux things, but we've never played in a Malifaux tournament with like strangers. I've never played a game of Malifaux with someone that I've known for less than 5 years. That's a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah,
Put it that way.
but equally I can totally understand why, because people who play tabletop war games can be very intense.
Well, we've been playing our own little bubble.
Yeah.
I played a lot of Games Workshop. I used to manage a Games Workshop. I was king of the nerds, as I always say.
Yeah.
Crown me. I got to the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to be a pawn. Could have been a queen.
Yeah.
If you don't become a king, but fuck, that didn't work, did it? Chess! As we all shout when we play chess, as
Yes.
the rules prescribe. Yeah, we've not played outside of our own little bubble of our little meta, and it's like a little bit intimidating to go and just play with a bunch of people. We were challenged by the Red Jokers.
Yes. To do... Was that the Burst of the Worst tournament? Was it with them? No, that was our...
No, that was the one we did.
Yeah.
They just challenged us to do a tournament.
Yeah.
And so we've kind of got there finally. So that's a thing.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it because it's beginner friendly. It's also the first time using the new Gaining Grounds 2018 stuff, which will be interesting because not played it.
Yeah.
I've seen the playtest rules, but I don't bother with stuff until it's proper. I'm not an early adopter. I'd make a terrible playtester because I just get frustrated at something being wrong. Some people are good at that. They're like, oh, this thing is wrong and this is what we should do. And I just go, oh, I don't like it. It's not the proper thing. I don't care. I don't buy the latest technology until
it's been tested.
until it's been
not gonna
tested.
explode
Yeah.
and,
So none of my mobile phones have set themselves on fire in my pocket.
Yeah.
But I also don't have the latest shiny phone.
No.
But it's fine.
Yeah, because you got something that works.
Yes.
Yeah. But we've been fairly active in our own little bubble.
Yeah, we've played lots. We had a day last week.
Yes, which I turned up late to, but I was there.
That's fine.
Played a
You were
game.
there, you played a game with your brand new stuff.
Yeah.
So it's long been a thing that Aaron has one master
Yeah.
or one mistress
Yeah.
for Malifaux, whereas what you're meant to do really is buy a few in the same faction to give you different options.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
kind of steadfastly spent 2 years playing one crew.
Yes. Yeah.
How was it different playing your new crew?
It was more fun.
Yes.
It was so much more fun.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because it was very linear before
Yes.
with the crews I had.
So you were playing Mizaki,
Yes.
who's renowned for being... She was in the Burst of the Worst.
Yeah.
She was a master that's not considered to be very good.
No, because she's a glass cannon. Runs in, smashes things, runs away, and so are most of the things that work well with her.
Yeah, and she works off of burning soul stones, which are, for those who aren't particularly versed, they're quite a precious resource that you can do all sorts of tricks with, including like keeping key models alive for longer.
Yeah.
Her playstyle revolves around throwing those away, getting rid of them early to power up. I think as a new player, more soul stones is good. It lets you draw more cards. It lets you keep your master alive longer by avoiding damage.
Lets you get that turn when you need it.
It lets you put that suit of cards in that you really need in that particular flip to do the thing. And it's just something that just helps balance you out a little bit. So I've been leaning towards bigger caches of soul stones in my games recently.
Yes, whereas
Misaki's like, burn them all.
Have as few as possible. Everything costs loads. Don't have much in the way of options. Whereas I had 7 with
Ulix.
Yeah.
So you've changed faction as well.
Yeah.
So you've gone to Gremlins.
Yes, because I used to play Warhammer, I always used to quite like the orcs.
Yeah.
Completely unbalanced. Would mostly just blow themselves up, and just have loads of models and stuff would possibly happen with them. But they were fun. I've had battles where I brought a tank on, fired it, and it's exploded in the first turn, and then obliterated somebody else's squad because the turret landed on them. That was hilarious. I still lost, but it was fucking funny.
Yeah, the Gremlins are very much like that.
Yes, but they actually have balance at times. Like, something can go very wrong for you, but there are ways of making that work in your favour. It also can go very right for you. When it does, they're scary dangerous at times. I played against Colin's Resurrectionists, and I basically played a pig army who don't have much in the way of willpower, apart from the dog and the really old pig, who've got a better willpower than Ulix has, which I found quite funny. But most of the rest of them got really bad willpower, so it made me really weak against Colin's crew, essentially, because he uses a lot of willpower damaging attacks. And I only just lost. I scored more points than I've scored in any other game. I felt I had options, and I was still learning how it worked. And don't get me wrong, Colin was going easy on me because he knew because I was learning the crew. But I at least had fun with it. When stuff went wrong, it was funny. And things were survivable. So if I put something in the wrong position and it went off and did something stupidly, or I pulled the wrong card and I failed on something, it at least survived another turn, so I could do something else with it rather than just die on the spot.
A bit more forgiving.
Yeah,
because 10 Thunders tend to be very brittle.
Yes.
Unless you could take Illuminated, because they're amazing.
Yeah.
Should take some Illuminated, man.
I should have done. Maybe I went with them because of the whole East Asian mythos and setting kind of appeals to me.
Yeah, that's fine.
But
Fine.
But equally, they also felt quite bland and sort of didn't really grab my attention. Whereas the Gremlins have grabbed my attention. The stuff that's happening with them is quite funny. I'm interested in what they do. I'm really interested in Zap, I think it is. I might have got his name wrong.
Zap.
The Sky Pirate.
Yes, so another master. So you'd have some variety within your faction as well. Yeah. I decided to try and stick to a faction and try and sort of collect all the Neverborn things, really. So I've got a few new bits. I've still got masters I haven't played and all sorts kicking around. It's been nice to play. I tried the Dreamer the other day and found him really tricky.
Yeah, I know. So it seems to be a lot you having to juggle from when I came in.
He's renowned for being very good, but I don't know if I'm good enough yet. I might take something more forgiving for me, or something that I know a bit better to this tournament. Like Sonya. Just set things on fire because it's fairly simple.
Yeah, and again, also quite funny.
Like Malifaux releases, they sort of finished off a book. They released a new book. The new book didn't have much stuff. It didn't have any new masters. It had a new master. It had a Gremlin master in to catch them up. But it wasn't full of stuff I felt I really needed to grab straight away, actually. I've kind of been just filling in gaps in crews now. Yeah,
so again, like the actual release for this year, a bit lacklustre. Not really sort of attention grabbing.
Yeah. So that's the end of part 1 of our review of 2017, where we talk about all the tabletop games, what we have played and enjoyed. We normally would give out awards, but we haven't played enough stuff to give out awards.
No.
Which is fine. You don't always have to be chasing what's new if you can find comfort, solace, and entertainment in older things. I think there's a feel that, or there's a pressure to try the latest thing, the newest thing, to keep chasing the hype.
Yes.
In all areas, in all hobbies and such like. And actually, you don't need to do that.
No. The same way you'd sit down with a book you've read before and is quite old and well-worn. Yeah. Sometimes it's the same with games of all forms.
Yeah, I actually reread a book this year. I don't normally reread books. I haven't for like the last 10 years. I always feel I need to be reading something new, seeing what's out because of my writing stuff. And yeah, this year I picked up some old stuff. I picked up Watchers by Dean Koontz. I loved when I was a kid, and found out that Dean Koontz has some very conservative views that I didn't realise when I was a child. That was interesting. I reread The Talisman by Stephen King and Peter Straub, which was my favourite book growing up. And it was okay. Never go back. Never go back. I may have reread something else as well, but that's pretty much the big ones for me. Yeah. But
I've only really read a couple of books this year.
But we have been chasing the new with video games. So join us for our next episode, where we will look at all the video games and do a review of those. We might actually give out some awards in that one as well.
I played enough to actually know that.
Cool. Brilliant. So I've been Brian Ennis.
And I've been Aaron Vinsky.
We have been the Critical Twits.
Yes.
And we will see you next time.
Yeah.
If you like what we do, do the stuff. Bye.
Bye.